Welcome to the Weekly Option, the podcast for people interested in trading stock options. Each week, we cover trade ideas and opportunities in the stock market right now. Whether you're a beginner, a professional, or just curious about options, this is the show for you. Let's get started. Welcome to the Weekly Option. This is episode 423 on April the 17th, 2026. I'm your host, Eric, and in this week's show, we'll cover the trades from last week on Cipher Mining, Hertz Global Holdings, Rivian Automotive, and the iShares Bitcoin Trust Beneficial Interest ETF. And we discuss 4 new trades on Compass Therapeutics, Fermi Inc, Nokia ADR, and SoFi Technologies. Now, it's always great to hear from listeners. If you have any questions about the trades presented here on the show or even about your own positions, feel free to email me. You can email questions to eric@theweeklyoption.com. That's ERIC@theweeklyoption.com. I've also created a few videos to teach you all the basics of option trading that you'll need to know to be able to follow along with me on this show. You can visit our website and click on the videos tab to watch them, or visit the YouTube channel for the Weekly Option. Now, after weeks of lower prices due to the possibility of war or an escalation in the war, we're back looking at all-time highs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average picked up 1,530 points, closing on Friday at 49,447 points. The S&P 500 index jumped 309 points, ending the week at 7,126 points, a new all-time high. And now it's time for the topic of the week. The topic of the week is healthy skepticism. After years and years of trading, I have taught myself to have a healthy amount of skepticism. You'll often see a trade that makes perfect sense. You might think about it for days and days before pulling the trigger. You might obsess over it, right? It might seem like a layup, like you can't lose. There's no way you can lose. Well, after losing a bit over time, I've learned to ask myself one main question. How can I lose money in this trade? That one question has saved me many more times than I'm sure I'm even aware of. It also has helped me design strategies to protect my portfolio. Winning always feels great. The problem with winning is that you think you'll just keep winning. In trading, you're one moment away from losing. Just always keep that in mind. So teach yourself to poke holes in your ideas. Teach yourself to play devil's advocate to your best trade ideas. That way, you prepare for the worst and give yourself a chance to create trades that are protected or at least hedged a little bit. I had to learn to divorce myself from my ego in order to figure out how I could lose money. And this game is a whole lot more fun when you learn to play offense and defense. I've learned to play defense for my trades. So a little bit of healthy skepticism will teach you to play defense and possibly make the game even more fun. So let's get into the review of last week's trades. With the market up so much over the week, you can expect a nice week for the trades overall. That's a little foreshadowing. We're going to start off with our covered call on Cipher Mining Inc. Symbol C as in Charlie, I as in India, F as in Foxtrot, R as in Romeo. At the time, the stock was trading for $16.53 per share. I looked at buying stock and selling the May 17 call at $2.02, hoping for a return of 15.06% in 5 weeks. Well, shares of Cipher Mining jumped $2.85, ending the week at $19.38 per share. The call option that we sold gained $1.83, leaving us with a net profit of $1.02 if we were to close the trade out immediately. Now, if stock stays above $17 at expiration, we stand to lock in roughly 1.5 times that amount in 4 weeks. This trade is definitely working out as planned, so no adjustments are needed at this point, unless, of course, you decide to close the trade and lock in the immediate profit. Next up, we have the cash secured put. We looked at Hertz Global Holdings, symbol H as in Hotel, T as in Tango, Z as in Zulu. At the time, the stock was trading for $6.31 per share. I looked at selling the May 6 put at 64 cents, hoping for a return of 10.67%. Well, shares of Hertz grew $1.11, ending the week at $7.42 per share. The out-of-the-money put that we sold is still out of the money, and with the stock more than $2 above our break-even point, there's really no reason to consider closing the trade early just yet. We still have 4 weeks left before expiration, of course, but this is a good start, so no adjustments are needed on this one also. Next, we have the credit spread on Rivian Automotive, symbol R as in Romeo, I as in India, V as in Victor, N as in November. At the time, the stock was trading for $15.44 per share. I looked at selling the May 15-14 put spread at 36 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 64 cents per spread. Well, shares of Rivian jumped $1.79, ending the week at $17.23 per share. The out-of-the-money put spread that we sold is now even more out of the money. The spread actually lost 10 cents on the week, further supporting our trade idea. Now, you could lock in that 10 cents profit if you wanted to close the trade out early, or wait a bit longer and let this trade expire out of the money at a price of 0. So at this point, no adjustments are needed on this one either. It's worked out as planned, so I'm just going to keep track of the stock. And again, make sure you have a plan ready in case it does end up moving against you. Our final trade from last week is going to be a debit spread on the iShares Bitcoin Trust Beneficial Interest ETF, symbol I as in India, B as in Bravo, I as in India, T as in Tango. At the time, the stock was trading for $41.57 per share. I looked at buying the May 41.5 call spread for 33 cents. That could give us a maximum gain of 17 cents, or that's the 51.52% return in 5 weeks. And actually, as a correction, this was an April trade. I called it a May trade. I just messed up on it. So shares of IBIT grew $2.36, ending the week at $43.93 per share. That in the money call spread that we bought is even further in the money. And as I mentioned, the trade was an April trade, and I didn't catch my error on the trades I'd done until the show was already posted. That 1 week trade, of course, only 1 week, because it would have expired in the money today, and it would have locked in the full profit of 51.52% in 1 week. Now, I know a few of you caught it because you emailed me about it, so it never hurts making that kind of return in 1 week. I love that. However, that is a riskier trade due to the shorter time frame. Even though I put those trades on myself, I typically don't share them on this show anymore because it's a 1 week trade and it can go against you and you don't really have time to make any adjustments. So anyways, I'll make sure I get all of the right expirations this time, this week. So sorry to confuse some of you, and thanks for reaching out, those of you who did. So that's it for the review of last week's trades. Today, April 17th, was options expiration for all monthly options in the month of April. All trades on today's show use the May 15th expiration date for monthly options in the month of May. So let's go ahead and get into the 4 new trades for this week. We're starting off with our covered call on Compass Therapeutics, symbol C as in Charlie, M as in Mike, P as in Papa, X as in X-ray. The stock ended the week at $5.99 per share. I'm looking at buying stock and selling the May 7 call at $1.60, hoping for a return of 43.57% in 4 weeks. Now you enter this trade by buying stock for $5.99 per share and selling the May 7 call at $1.60. This trade makes the most money if stock prices finish above $7 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $4.39 per share. In real terms, that stock purchase will require $599, and you'll collect $160 for selling the option. Next up, we have a cash-secured put on Fermi Inc., symbol F as in Foxtrot, R as in Romeo, M as in Mike, I as in India. The stock ended the week at $6.55 per share. I'm looking at selling the May 6 put at 70 cents, hoping for a return of 11.67% in 4 weeks. Now you enter this trade by selling the May 6 put at 70 cents. This trade makes the most money if stock prices finish above $6 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $5.30 per share. In real terms, you'll collect $70 for selling the option, and you'll have $600 locked up just in case you need to purchase the stock. Our credit spread on the week is on Nokia ADR, symbol N as in November, O as in Oscar, K as in Kilo. The stock ended the week at $10.31 per share. I'm looking at selling the May 10-9 put spread at 34 cents. That could give us a maximum possible loss of 66 cents per spread. Now you enter this trade by selling the May 10 put at 59 cents and concurrently buying the May 9 put for 25 cents. This is a credit spread because we are selling the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $10 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $9.66 per share. In real terms, you'll receive $34 per spread that you sell and have $66 at risk. And then our final trade on today's show is going to be a debit spread on SoFi Technologies, symbol S as in Sierra, O as in Oscar, F as in Foxtrot, I as in India. Stock ended the week at $19.45 per share. I'm looking at buying the May 18-19 call spread for 66 cents, hoping for a maximum gain of 34 cents, or that would be a 51.52% return in 4 weeks. Now you enter this trade by buying the May 18 call for $2.38 and concurrently selling the May 19 call at $1.72. This is a debit spread because we are buying the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $19 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $18.66 per share. In real terms, you'll pay $66 to enter the spread, and your maximum gain is $34 per spread. And just as a heads up, since today was expiration, on Monday, all of the stock, or most of the ones that I just listed on the show, will have the 50-cent strikes posted. So you might find better price opportunities on Monday when you're looking to execute or take a look at these trades and follow along. So, hey, thank you so much for listening to the show. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and also sharing with your friends and family who also like options. Hey, have a wonderful weekend, and as always, happy trading. Thank you for listening to the Weekly Option Podcast. Please subscribe to our show and visit us at www.theweeklyoption.com. Disclaimer: there is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. The indicators and strategies described in this podcast are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. For our full disclaimer, visit our website at www.theweeklyoption.com.